and welcome back to Tomb Raider. So we're at the start of level 9 now, Tomb of Tihocan. This should be the last of the grease levels. So straight away we're going to want to swim downwards. We're going to want to pull the lever under here. This is going to drain the water in the room above us so that we can surface. As soon as we get out, there's a lever on the left. We're going to want to draw our pistols because there's an alligator in the next room. If you want to try and shoot it from safety, you can hop on this cement block. Or any of the other blocks in the room for that matter. And then we're going to want to hop up here. Okay, so we're going to want to stay away from that central pillar just there. As soon as we touch that, we're going to activate a dart trap. So all we have to do is just climb around the outside of the room. Jump to the central structure, do standing jump onto this ledge. And then jump over the other side. So we'll pull this switch which will raise the water level again. And then when we drop down into the water, we're going to want to swim down to where the cement block was. And we can grab a nice secret little medi pack there. Okay, so let's climb out. And then we're going to drop into some more water. Now swim straight down as soon as you enter. You can see where this grate is, and there's another underwater lever to pull. Swim back up. And there's another piece of game logic for you. The underwater lever seems to have manipulated the current. So just swim all the way to the end. Kill the rat when you climb out. And I'm going to want to pull this cement block out once. So I'll hop on top. Climb up here. And then we're going to want to try and stand next to the wall so that we can jump up here. It can be a bit finicky when you've got nothing to stand up against, but just keep jumping and you'll eventually crawl forward. Okay, so we're going to want to jump onto this block here, and we're going to want to take the right hand path. We're taking the right hand path first because there's a secret down here we need to get now. Be careful when you come around this corner because Pierre is waiting for you. Again, be careful when you come around here because there is actually a sliding door trap. So you don't want to venture too far into this room. Again, if you get stuck in a loop, what you can do is, as long as you've done a little bit of damage to him, just retreat a little bit, turn around and then run back in. So you're going to want to edge forward, get as close as you can. And then when the doors are just starting to part, you can hear there's a clank clank sound followed by a whoosh. You want to use the whoosh sound as your audio cue. So when you hear the whoosh is when you want to start walking forward. Well, running forward. There's an alligator down here you're going to want to take care of pretty quickly. Because for some reason, alligators are a lot more deadly on land. Steve Irwin would beg to differ. So I've got lots of goodies down here, some shotgun shells, some Magnum clips, and some more shotgun shells. Now the secret's kind of well hidden. Basically there are some blue bricks mixed in with the tiles in here. You want to stand on the tiles that have the blue bricks on. So there's one in this far corner, one right next to the steps, and then one in this far corner over here. You don't have to step in them in any order. And once you enter the room, you can go ahead and grab the secret. Now you can jump forwards or backwards up here, it doesn't really make any difference. I'm just going to do it backwards. And literally all you have to do is just hold square. You don't even have to grab. So a large medipack and some shotgun shells. I need to learn to speak properly. This is actually an optional detour. You don't actually have to come down here if you don't want to. You do actually have to fight Pierre, and you do also have to navigate the sliding door trap. But I think it's worth it for what you can get out of it. Again, you want to wait for the whoosh audio cue. So you want to wait while you hear the clank clank, and then you want to go on the whoosh. You want to be careful here, because it's a long way down if you miss the jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one step back, and I'm going to not die, hopefully. Nope, I died. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so now that I'm back here, what I'm going to try and do is, instead of doing a standing jump, which seems to keep going wrong, I'm just going to run off. There we go, that seems to have worked. Now that we're on this block here, I'm going to do a running jump over towards the axe, and we're going to grab the shotgun shells now. Again, it's quite a long jump, so make sure you don't press X until the last minute. You can get as close to the axe as you want, it's not going to activate while you're standing over this side. Make sure you do this before you activate the axe, so don't step anywhere near that safe crystal, and don't step on that block at all. If you do, you'll activate the axe and you'll make getting the shotgun shells pretty much impossible. So now that we've done that, we're going to want to jump over to the safe crystal. And definitely save your game here, because this can go wrong. Even if you're well practiced, this can go quite wrong. Okay, so we're going to want to activate the axe. Make sure it's towards the right side, but not too close. This is about as far forward as I can get, I think. Take a hop back, and remember to start running at the top of the axe's swing. So now, now, now. Make sure you grab X at the very last second. You do want to get nice and close, otherwise you're going to end up falling down. Okay, so now that we're here, you'll see in a second why we had to go down the right hand path to get the secret. So you're going to want to hang off the edge, and then shimmy across. So in a moment we're going to pull a lever that's going to flood this room with water. Basically the way the secret works is you need to stand on pressured tiles, and obviously Lara can't do that if she's swimming around in water. So we have to come down this way to get it. Because once we pass this point, even if we go back down before we drain the water, we aren't going to be able to open the secret door. So, what we're going to do is we're going to drop it. As you can see, the secret door's closed no matter what now. You can still get the items on the bottom if you want. I'm going to pull up here. Kill the rat. And drop in the water again. Okay, so if you can, actually don't think you're going to be able to shoot them. Oh, you can. Yeah, that's not really going to work very well, is it? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up. You can take care of the lion first if you want to. The lion probably does pose a bit more of a threat, actually. If the gorillas get too close, just you can jump over them. Whatever you do though, do not fall down the other hole. If you fall down the hole on this side, you'll fall into the spikes. Now something important to remember as well is, I'll take care of the lion when I drop down. Before we jump up into the crevice here and shimmy right to enter the doorway, we need to make sure that the door is open, because for some reason we can't pull up when the doorway is closed, which means the only option is to drop down into the spikes. So what I'm going to do here is make sure I land in this doorway so I can get a good head start on the lion. Again, the lions and gorillas are pretty easy as long as you can jump over them. They're pretty easy to outmaneuver. You shouldn't take too much damage from them. At least not when you're fighting them one at a time anyway. So now that we've pulled the lever to open that door, I'm going to save my game here, just in case I mess up. Do a standing jump to pull up. And you're going to want to stand right at the very far left corner. Do a standing jump and grab. If you stand too far to the right, she actually won't be able to make it. So make sure you're standing to the left. Make sure the door is open and you can pull up. So we've got a large medi pack and we've got a golden key. For some reason, again game logic here, but for some reason when we use the key it will raise the water level in the room below. You want to be careful when exiting this room. The only way I've found to do it safely is to do a standing jump. And just do it over to the left just to make sure that if you don't get enough distance because of the low ceiling, that you can actually land somewhere safe and not on the spikes. So yeah, and also the cement blocks can float in water apparently. Not quite sure how that works. But we'll turn the key to unlock the tide, I guess. And then you can't just do straight up jumps, you have to line up each one. They're kind of awkwardly aligned, I suppose. It's quite hard for you to actually just run and jump, run and jump, run and jump. So now we're over to the other side. We're actually not too far off the end of this level. Basically we've got 4 block tiles over here and we've got a block to put them on. So we're going to start by the top right and then we're going to finish on the top left. Now there are 6 doors in this room, 3 on the left side and 3 on the right side. The one with the keyholes next to it just on my right is the one that we're going to want to try and open first. Well, try and open last I should say. Because we do need 2 keys to open it. So the other 4 doors, 2 of them have keys and 2 of them have traps. The other 2, I'll just grab them, I'll just take out this one. The 2 that have traps in have the keys, if that makes sense. And the other 2 either have items in it or are empty. I believe this one has an item in it. Yep. Magnum shells here, and a medi pack. Oh, sorry, shotgun shells. For some reason you can hear the snapping doors, not sure why. So we're going to want to push it onto the bottom right, which from where I'm standing is the top left. And again, if you're not sure what's going to come out of the door, it's best to just hop on top of the block. Okay, so I think we're okay for that one. Pretty sure this one's got a trap. Yes, it does, because there's the key. So you can see that there's a boulder to the left, boulder to the right, and there's a nice enticing medipack in the middle there. So just make sure you don't dawdle, because as soon as you step down, the boulders will activate. Grab the key, wait for the boulders to pass, and then you're totally safe. Grab the medipack now. And then we'll push onto the next block. So we're going to push it onto the bottom left now. I think some rats come out of here. Yep. There isn't anything in here, I don't think. There might be an item in there, but 4 rats in total there. There's nothing in here. Apart from this medipack. But we might as well grab it. And then finally we're going to finish on the top left. So when you push into the top left, you're going to need to climb on top of the block to reach the doorway. And it's a pretty good idea to just do a standing jump into the doorway because there's some snapping doors in the centre of the doorway. So if you run a little bit too far there, you might end up going into the doorway. So just be very careful. Again, the clank clank whoosh should be a good audio cue, so you want to go on the whoosh. Excellent. Now that we've got the key, we are going to have to do the same to get back out again. Again, go on the whoosh. I've landed on the block here so that I can safely take on this gorilla. And we've got both keys, but we might as well see what's behind the final door. Some shotgun shells. So it's worth checking each of these rooms because I don't think any of them are actually empty. So let's use the 2 rusty keys. And there's a save crystal in this doorway. We're going to want to use it here because there's a secret that we can get. However, if we mess up, then we do miss it forever. So I'm just going to make sure I can reload if I miss it. There we go. Okay, so I've got a very long slope in front of us and you can't really see it, so I don't know how the developers expected you to find it. But there is a doorway at the very bottom left of the slope just before we fall into the water. We can't get back out once we've gone down the slope, so we've only got one chance to do it. Now the way I like to do it is aim towards the left, take hop back, and from the end do a nice big running jump, and just hold square. And with any luck, she should end up flipping backwards and forwards like this in a loop. So what you're going to want to do is, when she flips forwards, try and angle it to the right hand side, and then eventually she'll land in the doorway. Okay, so this is, we still haven't activated the secret yet, but we have found it. So what you're going to want to do is jump on these collapsible tiles. Again, we only get one chance at this. So if you miss this, it's worth reloading. So you're going to want to jump forward, flip, another standing jump forward, another one, a flip, and you can just run if you want to, but because it takes a little bit of time to recover after the flip animation, sometimes it's better to just jump. So just hang and drop. Again, any secret way you get Uzi clips is well worth it in my opinion. And then we can just slide down into the water. Do a nice big dive, just for funsies. Now I'm going to want to climb out here because there's a crocodile. So I'm going to take him out because we are going to be swimming around in these waters for a bit. Yeah. Then we're going to want to head in this doorway. So you're going to want to be careful when you go through this doorway here, because there's a cliff with a stream underneath it, and you're going to want to be quite careful because if she jumps in the wrong place she can actually fall and break her neck, as you can see there. So if you fall into the water it's no biggie, you can just climb straight back out and climb up again. However, you are going to want to jump down the slope here. Damn it. So we're going to need to swim back out and do that again. Okay, let's just swim back through here, back onto the cement platform. Okay, back here again. So I think if you try and do a running jump, you actually can't quite make it. I might try it though, just to be sure. Oh no, she makes it, that's fine. So you're going to jump up here and pull the lever. So we need that gate open to progress. And then after that, you can fall in the water however you want. I'm going to do a nice big dive. Again, make sure she dives in the actual water and not onto the pavement. So we're going to want to swim back out. I want to climb out on this platform here. So this is the tomb of Tihocan straight ahead of us. In order to open the tomb we need to find where that underwater gate was that we just unlocked. There is a save crystal to the left just there because we are about to face not only Pierre but possibly two centaurs. You can see just to the right and the left there. They do actually come to life once we open the tomb. They are an optional boss, but you do have to kill Pierre. So what we're going to do is, the entrance to the gate that we just unlocked is just underneath here. So I'm going to stand over towards the right side, hop in the water. You can see there should be like a whitish rock just here. You're going to swim down between these two rocks and up above. And then you want to climb out here. There is a save crystal here as well. Again, that's not particularly necessary considering we've got one right near the exit and right before the boss fight. But if you want to use it, go ahead. We're going to want to jump back in the water, swim out the way we came. Just swim straight up. There's nothing else to collect around here, so just feel free to. Okay, so before we go in, I am actually going to fight both centaurs. So what I'll do is I'll get my magnums out. And what you want to do is, when one of them breaks out, the best thing you can do is just stand on the spot and side flip left to right. So the left one always comes to life first. And so you just side flip left to right on the spot. Don't run around and flip by anything. It'll make it impossible to get those. Awesome. The one on the right doesn't actually come to life just yet. We actually have to enter the tomb first, and then when we come back out, he will come to life then. So if you want to, you can come back out and defeat him, which I am going to do. But before we do that, let's go kill Pierre.
A little late for the prize giving, no? Still, it is the taking part which counts.
I absolutely hate his accent. A little late for the prize giving, no? What Frenchman have you ever heard that sounds like that? It is the taking part which counts, no? So it goes down pretty easy. As we've established before, Pierre's a pussy. So we took his magnums, we took his piece of the scion, and we took the key to the exit. Now technically what you can do is you can stand here, and you'll be completely safe, because they do not actually enter the temple at all. The tomb. But you can still fire fireballs in. So I'm just going to make sure that I've got plenty of room to side flip. Again, side flip, shoot. Side flip left and right. Just keep getting to the side. If you're low on health, don't risk it, just take it back. They don't take that long to go down. They take like here though. I'm just going to get my pistols back out. So now that both the centaurs and Pierre are down, all we've got left to do is to grab a couple of last items. One of which is a large medi pack up here. And then we should have 2 lots of Magnum clips on either side of the balcony. And then once we're done, we can unlock the final door. There is a small cutscene. I'll probably just edit that out of the video. I don't think we really need to watch that. Basically it just says that she's found the tomb of Tihocan. And it gives her a clue where to go for the next piece of the scion. So I'll just grab these Magnum clips. And then once we walk through that door, that's the end of the grease levels. Okay, so let's drop down here. Obviously the pedestal is empty, so don't worry about that. I actually forgot to turn the key in the lock. So use the gold key, which unlocks the door to the tomb. So let's drop down safely. And I will see you in Egypt.
Here lies Tihocan, one of the two just rulers of Atlantis, who even after the curse of the continent had tried to keep rule here in these barren other lands. He died without child, and his knowledge has no heritage. Look over us kindly, Tihocan.
Kill 17, pick up 26, secrets 2 of 2. I'll see you in the next level.